This is a Paleozoic diorama showing cephalopods, nautiloid cephalopods in a lifelike setting, swimming in the shallow tropical Ordovician seas. These two are the short tentacled type. This is a poster of a nautiloid cephalopod, and it was a squid-like animal that had a cylindrical shell that tapered to point. And here are some photos of the actual fossil remains of some. Okay. Showing the shell patterns. On the inside of the shell there were camera, septum, siphuncle running through the center-like pipe, so to speak, and the empty chamber, the last chamber, was larger than the previous ones. As this animal grew, it sealed off the back chambers, and the head and the tentacles grew out here. As this animal grew, it started off very small and kept sealing off each individual chamber, and that's why you have all these ridges. As it grew and grew, a new chamber was formed until it gets to its full size with all these past chambers behind it. Usually we find just fragments of cephalopods as fossils like this. What you're seeing in the SCPA sidewalk in the masonry building material are all the fragments of these cephalopod creatures. It looks something like this. Again, this is the living chamber, the final chamber where the head and the tentacles came out. There's the back chambers, which were sealed off. This is a cephalopod model that I've made, and it is Sculpey clay that has been molded and painted, and the gray area is the actual cephalopod fossil. This gives a feel for what they looked like when they were alive and swimming. This is the front of School for Creative and Performing Arts, and I'm taking a paleontological tour around the school. I have found 24 cephalopods in the limestone all the way wrapping around the school. So the neat thing about this is that to go fossil hunting, you don't have to go out to quarries or road cuts or fossil locations. You can find it in the building materials themselves. I'm at the back of SCPA, School for Creative and Performing Arts. Used to be the old Woodward School. There is something of paleontological significance. There are some huge fossils to the left and right of the back of the school. Here's the walkway. Over here in this bump, this bracketed part of the pavement, here I am by parking lot number 78, and there is a huge, right here, this is a cephalopod shell. You can barely see the outline. It's from here all the way to here. That's about 18 inches. It's a really big cephalopod shell. And now it's worn away. You're just seeing the outlines. And this tube that ran right down the middle, it filled up the empty hollow shell with air or water. So this squid-like creature could submerge or float like a submarine at will. But this is just an enormous cephalopod shell. Cincinnati's world famous for its fossils, and I can tell you, you don't find too many of them this big. It's not known if this is Ordovician age. It could be, but I don't know where these were quarried from. Over on the other side, over here by parking lot space 77, there's another one. It's at a diagonal. This one's a little bit wet. You can see it a little more clearly. Here's the outline. This one also is about 18 inches or so. And right there's the siphuncle sticking out again, that internal pipe, so to speak, that can flood the back chambers. You can just see the hint of the individual chambers. Again, you could barely notice this if you weren't looking for it. You have to be knowledgeable in fossils to recognize this. There's another one right here, smaller one. I'm going to walk around the school and see what else I find. Okay, to the left of the doors, there's another big one right here. Actually, two in this slab. And this one actually, you can see some of the outer shell. That is maybe 14 inches. And right over here, there's another one. Guessing that's about 9 inches. Piece of a bryozoan. Okay, to the right of the door, in the first panel, there's the hint of one here. I'm going to walk along here, see just how many more I can find. Okay, I'm up to my 6th cephalopod out by parking space 58. Here's another huge one. Guessing that's about... Okay, that cephalopod is right next to the decorative flower box in 58. And I made an earlier video about these artistic flower boxes. I'm going to turn left, go down the sidewalk, see how many more I find. Okay, out by parking space 46, come here to the side. This is the biggest one yet, but there's not much of it. This one's about, I don't know, 3.5 inches across. Would have been a big one. You only see just the hints of it here. Up here, there's a cephalopod right up here by this side door. You can see it. This is a small one though, but you can see it right here. This is the back door that faces out this way. Front of the school's around the corner there. Okay, I'm at the front of the corner over here by that no public parking sign. There's one right below this sign. Cephalopod here, maybe about 7 inches. Here's a very small one, only about 4 inches. I think I'm up to 11 so far. A few inches away from that one, there's just the hints of a fragment of this one, 12. Here's the front of the school. I'm in the right-hand corner, just a few feet in. Here's 13, a big one here. I'm now on the side of the building. The front of the building is around that way. Okay, I've come down this way, looking along here, and I think I found my 14th one here. 14th cephalopod. I guess that's about 4 inches. Walking farther back, I'm past the side door of the baseball field, out maybe 20 feet, and I'm now on my 15th cephalopod. Right there. A few feet away, I'm on my 16th one. Here's the 17th, and this is a subtle impression, maybe about 4 inches. The key, obviously the key to recognizing these is that it is cylindrical, it is thin, and it tapers to one point. 18th, and this is a subtle one. 19th, but very subtle. Here's my 20th, and it's a big one again. This one's maybe a foot long. Okay, I'm just far away from the end of the gate. I'm on the 21st one. Right here, another big one. Oh, this is nice. I've got calcite crystal infillings. Just a few inches away from that one, there's another subtle one. This is, I think what am I, 22 now? I'm at the back of the very corner fence. There's a big one right here, right underneath the rail. Oh, about a foot long. Starts there.